Starslayer is a void boss with roughly 2.5k HP. It has roughly a 75 soft damage cap with 0.75 clawback, and it has freedom. His mechanics include randomly giving himself celerity, and he has a low chance of attacking with dark damage. However, if his SP attack dazes you, this chance of attacking with dark damage greatly increases. He also disables your misc slot on his first turn. He also has very high defenses at 137 MRM and 225 luck, which adds about 4 to all his defenses. The method I'm showing you now is the Backlash Method, which is very reliable, and it's good because Backlash is auto-hit if the monster hits you, and since we're not trying to dodge, he's going to hit us almost every time. Also, he has slightly accurate attacks. Now, for this setup, ideally you would have both Endurance and Charisma. I'm doing it without Charisma, just to show you that the method is very, very good. The goal is basically you're just going to either skip your turn if you're close to full HP, or drink a health potion if you've lost HP. You can also use another source of healing if you have other stat investment, like an intellect healing spell, for example, from the Healing Branch Tome. But I'm just doing it just by chugging potions to show you that pretty much any build can do this Backlash Method, even without Charisma investment. As you can see, he simply died to the Backlash and we just chugged potions the whole fight. Now if you want a more interesting method, I've got 3 methods coming up later in this clip and video. One is a Warrior Method, one is a Ranger Method, and one is a Mage Method. All of them utilize different auto-hit mechanics to bypass his really high defenses. Next up is the Ranger Method. Starslayer is a notably difficult void boss who has excessive nuking, a stun, and multi-element attacks, dark and energy, that are very rare to defend against both at the same time. This first method I'm going to show you is using Initiative and a slight nuking strat with the H-Series armor, and it's available to both Warriors and Rangers. The stats I'm running are Dexterity, Endurance, and Luck, and I also have my Initiative armor, H-Series. Because Starslayer has such high stats, if you don't have an Initiative armor and Luck and main stat investment, you'll likely go second unless you have Lucretia's Potion, so keep that in mind. Now, the first thing we're going to do, because his dodge rate is so high, we're going to use an auto-hit weapon. Now there are 3 good options for Warriors: Divine Kusanagi Sword, the Burden of Insight, and Tarnished Garden Edge. Now, Divine Kusanagi Sword is the weakest option because it takes the highest damage penalty. Burden of Insight is the second strongest option, but it's available full year round. And Tarnished Garden Edge is the strongest option, but it's a Blarney seasonal. Now again, I'm going to be using the weakest option just to show that the method is pretty foolproof. As well, you've already seen the Backlash Method, but if you have Angra, Linnorm, and Essence of Carnage out, this method will be even easier than it is right now. So for Rangers, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure the overdrive is toggled, and you're going to equip whatever boosting misc you have on the first turn. I'm using the Sword Weapon Emblem. And then you're going to use Missile Barrage. Now occasionally the weapon special will proc, and if it does, don't worry about it. The method is simply to spam the Rockets attack as much as you can. There's a small chance that you'll be stunned and he'll attack with Dark twice and kill you, but that has a very low chance of happening, and if it does, just reset and try again. So as you can see, even though we're attacking with energy and he's resistant to energy, since his damage cap is so low, it doesn't really matter, and we're just going to be able to kill him this turn. Note that you should try to go into the battle with full HP and full SP, otherwise you won't have the resources to spam the celerity like I just did. That's the Ranger Method. The Warrior Method is very similar, and I'll show it to you now. Next up is the Warrior Method, and it's very, very simple, and it really follows the Ranger Method in the same type of strategy. Now you're going to use again a similar stat line, but with strength instead of dexterity. And again, if you don't have luck, you'll need Lucretia's Initiative Potion. As well, having Essence of Carnage and Angra Linnorm will make this method much more reliable, but I'm just here to show you that it works even unoptimized. Now you're going to just be attacking with the overdrive toggle on, and the first turn you'll use a damage misc because why not? Also, one thing you can do is equip a strength booster shield or a dex booster shield if you're doing the ranged method for your first attack on the celerity turn, and then go back to your random energy shield on the second turn. And there's a small chance you'll die if he double attacks you with dark while you're dazed, but it's a very low chance. And even if you do take a lot of damage, if you have Essence of Carnage and Angra Linnorm, you'll be even more likely to backlash him to death. So even then I tanked 2 dark hits, and because I had endurance, I was fine. Without endurance, I really recommend using Angra Linnorm and Essence of Carnage, but that is the easy free-to-play warrior method for Starslayer. Next up is the Mage Method for Starslayer. Now, the Mage Method is slightly less reliable than the Warrior and Ranger method, so I really do recommend having Angra Linnorm and Essence of Carnage, and or having a way to make sure you win initiative. Now, if you don't have Angra Linnorm and Essence of Carnage, I'm going to unsummon them, just to make it so if you don't have these items, you can still follow the guide. But use an initiative armor to make sure you win initiative. And again, you'll need luck to win. And then switch to any fully defensive energy armor. Now I'm using Star Savior, but that's just because I thought it would look cool. No real reason. Any fully defensive armor will work. Or Spellcaster Lean. Now the first thing you're going to do, and this is to make the method more reliable, it's not entirely necessary, is use Purple Rain. Next, we're going to spam a little bit of Shadow Feeder Pendant. 5 turns is more than enough. And you can use other quick cast buffs if you have them, but I'm just going to keep it simple because, just because, why not? So I'm just going to waste my turn because we can't do damage to him anyways. I'm going to waste my celerity turn because we can't do damage to him anyways. And so now he's going to swing on me, and he does a ton of damage, but actually in this one circumstance, that doesn't matter because we have Purple Rain to heal back up. Now I am going to use Fairy Godmother as a pet, just to slightly heal my mana. But so now I've got Purple Rain. Now he is going to use his SP attack again, and that's totally fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to equip any tome or anything, any spell boosting weapon you have for Earth, and we're just going to spam Sizzler's Explosion, because it's an auto-hit spell and it's freely accessible for Earth. Other options include Vidir's Lightning if you have it, or one of the Z-token auto-hit spells, particularly Nova would work great, but it's not required for the method. Now as you can see, I may get dazed and he may attack me with multiple elements, but on average you'll have more than enough time and damage to clear Starslayer, even with just the auto hit. Now it might get a little bit close in terms of my HP and mana, but if you have Essence of Carnage on Backlash, even without Charisma, it'll be more than good enough to kill him. Also, you may as well go for more turns of celerity. Okay, so we actually got stun locked, which is pretty unlucky, unless the one-hit wonder. Okay, so we're not going to get him this kill, but actually I'll just drink a potion and see if we can kill him. But that's the Mage Method. Basically, you get Purple Rain so you can stack up some celerity turns, and then you spam Sizzler's Explosion to try and kill him. Now it was a bit clunky this kill, and so if I die this kill, what I'll do next time, is use, see, he's at 71 HP, so it really was very close. Alright, so next kill I'm going to use Essence of Carnage, and you'll see just how easy it is with that addition. Okay, so we're back, and we're going to win initiative. And we're going to first summon Essence of Carnage, then cast Purple Rain, Then use Essence Orb and Shadow Feeder Pendant to get maybe, let's go 7 turns of celerity, or maybe 6. We'll go to half HP. How about that? So excuse my loud clicking. 4, let's get 1 more turn. Okay, 6 turns should be more than enough, even though we're going to use 1 now. Actually, I'm just going to drink a potion on my celerity turns, just because there's a chance he'll nuke me before I can recast Purple Rain. But it's very unlikely. The celerity also helps you time through the days more quickly, because it takes you 2 turns instead of 1. So we're going to use Purple Rain. He will have his SP up again to attack. And I actually forgot to have Essence of Carnage on Backlash. Good thing I caught that. Switch to your fully defensive energy armor, and just spam the spell. And you'll see the difference almost immediately with Essence of Carnage. He's already taken an extra 300 damage. And that's with 0 charisma as well. So if you have charisma, the infliction rate will be significantly higher. So again, the method does work without Essence of Carnage, but it's much less reliable. So I really do recommend having Essence of Carnage, because that'll just make your kill that much easier. But there you go. Use Sizzler Explosion as an auto hit. Sometimes you'll die, but usually you'll get the kill, especially if you have a Backlash guest of any kind. Now with all those methods out of the way, let's go over the rewards. There's the Dark Invader armor, which is an energy and fire compression armor, and it has an extremely strong skill that has several statuses that it inflicts. The skill inflicts fire and energy Elevuln, fire and energy defense loss, choke, and status weakness. Also, the armor has built-in status resistance by 5, but 20 burn weakness. The next items are the Starslayer and Star Savior. They're just the same with or without a hood. And Star Savior is FD with a light secondary, and Starslayer is fully offensive with a dark secondary, and it has a ranged and magic energy choke skill. Next up is the Mogru Pet and Guest. They are energy pets and guests, and they have 3 modes. The first is a pure damage energy mode. The second trades half damage for an energy burn, a lot like the Thunderlord's Ravens. And the third mode heals your mana, but the mana heal is based off of the monster's energy resistance. And because of a couple reasons, its base power, if the monster has 100 energy resistance, is 17% stronger than Fairy Godmother's mana healing. So it is a quite potent option for mana healing. Next up is the Dark Visor pet. It's a darkness pet that can sometimes inflict defense loss, and there are no info subs for this pet, so I don't know exactly how powerful it is. You can get the Starslayer and Star Savior titles. You can get the Dark Invader helm, the Dark Visor, and the Starslayer locks faces. And finally, you can get the Starslayer House Guard, which is new, and the Starslayer painting.